And welcome to the HopCast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Chmielewski.
My name is Hunnemeder.
And we have a couple of lagers.
We do. Some kind of like, I guess, badass lagers, you would say.
Yeah.
A couple heavy hitter lagers. We have one from Floyds and one from Surly.
Right, both completely different.
Yes.
Beers,
So we have the Jinx Proof, which is from Floyds, and then the Smoke Lager from Surly. So this is going to be
smoky.
Yeah, smoky, and it's also 8.2% alcohol, whereas Jinx Proof is kind of more of your like session type lager.
Right.
So
Gotta figure they probably brewed that for themselves. So like, yeah, guys, we're getting drunk here.
Yeah,
we need a
there's
beer for us.
When you think of Floyds, you think hops out the ass, and this is kind of a departure from that, and so I'd say we start there and move on.
Warm up our lager pellets.
Exactly. So here we go. Jinx Proof from Floyds.
Alright, well this, as I'd expect, is really clear.
Yeah, poured out brilliantly clear. A slight hint of orange in the color, but it's pretty damn pale.
And a little thin head here, but much.
Getting a little bit of that sulfur lager aroma. Nice.
Little hop there, but nothing.
Yeah, noble hop. So European style hop. Smells great.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty big departure from what we're normally getting from Floyds. Normally getting in your face, hoppy, everything.
Right, just heavy-handed on the hops. But this is, it's clean, it's refreshing, light, it's not, tasting of those hops.
Got a little bit of, just a touch of grapefruity character. Not a lot. But it's mostly about that malt sweetness and the balance point between that and that noble earthy hop character. It's really, really nice beer.
Right. I'm surprised to see them do a lager because we know that they have problems keeping up with demand. So I'm surprised that they're going to take up a fermenter for that extra period of time.
Right, and this is one of their. It's not like they have another lager called the Gorchbach, and it's a Helles, but it's more of a special release type of beer. This is in their, at this point, year-round selection of beers. So, yeah, they're probably straining themselves pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe that's why they're expanding now.
Especially they just recently introduced Zombie Dust as a year-round beer.
Right, so they got Zombie Dust, Jinx Proof, Gumball Head, Robert the Bruce,
Alpha King, and Pride and Joy.
Is that 6? Oh, that's not. Like 6 beers. I think it was 6, yeah.
Assuming that all those are still intact.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if they substitute some of them out. I didn't think so.
Well, Gumball Head, it's always hard to come by here, and
Right.
you don't see it as much in the winter time. Like, there's a little bit, but I'm sure they cut down production winter and boost up Robert the Bruce or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like a constant
But it's,
1-for-1 on every beer.
it's one of those beers that's always in demand.
Yeah.
So for them to introduce another beer like Zombie Dust was a little surprising because that was very popular around the special event circuit here in Chicago. And that's, obviously why they decided to do it as a full year-round beer. But I can't imagine they're going to have a fun time keeping up the demand for that beer.
No, what? Already on Zombie Dust, people were waiting in line at 10 a.m. during the week to buy cases.
At their own brewery,
And I think they're finally starting to even out where you'll see it on tap here. I haven't seen it on the shelves yet, but breweries or bars and restaurants have it on tap now. So It's not like, oh my god, they got zombie dust, bum rush, sell out.
Yeah. But enough about that beer.
We're not drinking that.
Back to Jinx Proof. Yeah, it was just refreshing to see from them. Kind of, I think this may just be kind of the slap in the face to anyone who's giving them shit about anything. Or they're like, oh, you think we use too much hops? Oh, we're going to make a lager. Or we can't meet demand? Yeah, we're going to make a lager.
What kind of fits in there with they're not normal? Like, oh, we're all hops. That's what we do with lager. That's not normal of us.
Yeah, right. And they could have easily done hoppy lager or something weird, but this is actually very kind of straightforward, clean, really nice. Just a well done beer. And I for one appreciate that. It's good.
And what's it come in at, like 4.5?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything on the bottle, but it's something low.
It's nice. I think it's going to be in the fridge often here in the summertime.
Yeah, absolutely. Very tasty beer. Once again from Three Floyds. What else can you say about them? But cheers.
And I think it's about time to smoke up.
All right. Well, let me get my. But yes, we have the Smoke Lager from Surly here, one of their limited releases, and this guy is a big lager at 8.2%, with a bunch of German smoked malts in it. So this should be quite a treat, I think.
And usually you don't see lagers kind of top out around 6 most of the time, right?
Usually, yeah. It's a little tougher to get those lagers with the lager yeast to ferment down than it is with the ales, and it takes a lot longer. So you just don't.
They're cold. They're tired.
They're tired.
Not gonna work.
So you don't see it happen that often, but this is one of those cases. So let's crack it open.
Okay. That is one dark lager.
It is. I wasn't really expecting that. But yeah, quite dark, quite aromatic. It's really got a lot of smoke coming off this thing.
Whew. Just
like bacon-y.
Bacon, pork.
Yeah.
Something's cooking in the kitchen. Whew.
So, cheers.
Kind of want breakfast.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
That is very, very pork-like. I feel like I'm drinking pork.
It's like they poured the grease into the fermenter.
And this is, I mean, it's kind of balanced and nice too. You have a lot of sweet malt coming out of this beer too. Balanced with that smoky bacon pork-like flavor. I mean, there's a quite complex array of flavors going on.
Malt is heavy. It's a heavy lager.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at 8%, but it doesn't taste like any lager you typically find.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't think this tastes like a lot. Like the lager yeast is not coming through at all. So my thing is, I don't know why they bothered to lager it. I think
so then they oak aged it, right?
Yes, it's also I don't know if that it's aged in oak,
but
in oak barrels, but they might do oak chips with this beer.
So if it was barrels, if it was fresh barrels, it might have picked up another percent from that, but it doesn't have any heat. Like
there's no bourbon characteristic on it. That's why that leads me to believe that it's just either fresh oak barrels with no previous aging of any spirit of any sort, or it's just they're throwing some oak chips in there. But I mean the whatever lager yeast character there was is totally being masked at this point. I feel like they maybe could have turned around the same beer if they just used quicker if they used ale yeast.
Yeah, nothing. The lager yeast isn't helping this beer.
It's just there's so many flavors going on. You have oak and you have like super malt character and a lot of smoke. I think the lager yeast just kind of gets hidden. Mm-hmm. That's all.
So how similar? Forgetting the name, but it's to other smoke beer. They do like the second smoke runnings of it, or
the Schlenkerla.
Yes. Yeah.
This is less smoky than the Schlenkerla, but it's more malty. So you're gonna get a little bit more sweetness out of this beer, and the smokiness of this beer is a little bit more pork forward. I can't believe I'm saying this. Than the Schlenkerla, and if you're not familiar with it, it's a great German smoke beer, Rauchbier.
Yeah.
Which is really, really tasty. And this is, I mean, we've said some weird things about this beer because it is kind of a weird beer, but it is pretty tasty.
It's good. I keep wanting to drink it. I don't know if it's vegan.
Right. We've had a past couple episodes about some vegan beers. This would put you in doubt, but it actually might be vegan.
Yeah. So if you are vegan, you're like,
I miss pork.
I miss bacon. I miss pork. And just drink a
Drink
Surly
beer.
Smoke.
Yeah. So kind of a weird beer to describe though.
Right, and coming off of the Jinx Proof, which is more of a traditional lager. They're not they're totally different. They're not similar at all.
Absolutely, and even down to like the normal yeast characters that we get, it's probably coming from the malt, but I get a lot of like fruity character from this beer that you wouldn't get from the Jinx Proof, just based on I think malt alone, because the Jinx Proof is very naked.
Yeah.
Whereas this one has a ton of specialty malts. I mean, like look at this thing. It is rimming the glass. So.
But it's really great, and I'm really happy we got to try it.
Yeah.
So. And if you didn't pick it up when it was available, maybe next year I think it's a year release.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We've had it in years past,
yeah.
so this is something that they do annually. So
like
very cool.
Early, or was it late winter, early?
Yeah, kind of like a February release date, early February, and you can check out Surly Smoke. And it's not just the smoke; they do a lot of really, really great beers, and even some of their low alcohol beers are some of my the Surly Bitter Brewer is one of my favorite session ales. Fortunately, we can't get it down here. I wish we could. I'd drink it all the time.
We should do a Bitter Brewer, Bitter American.
There you go.
Episode.
That would be good.
Who's more bitter?
And both in cans. So.
Well, cheers, and thanks for watching.
Cheers.